All right, welcome. We're using a different recording platform here. I've been noticing some static using the Xbox recording software in the last several flights. I don't know if it's related to a patch or what, but we're going to try using the NVIDIA recording software, which I've done one time before. It was fine, I guess. I found that the engine sounds were a little quiet, although the audio seemed better. The video quality did not seem as good. So anyway, we're just going to try it for part one here, which is our takeoff from Haneda. We are still in Tokyo. We landed here yesterday, Friday, November 27th, although we landed in Tokyo time very early Saturday morning. It's now early Sunday morning in Tokyo, 7 in the morning. And let's get inside and get started on this flight to, now here's the big question, right? This is only going to be part one. We're only going to do the taxi and takeoff, climb out, stable climb out. But we are planning to go to Sapporo on Hokkaido, the northernmost main island of Japan. We are planning on making our way back to Alaska. I looked at some maps yesterday, and although it's technically within range at 3,800 nautical miles from Tokyo to Anchorage, I decided to go ahead and shoot on up to Hokkaido first, just to shave a few hundred miles off this flight eventually back to the States. This is about a 65-minute flight. That's my expectation. So let's get in the cockpit. What do you say? Okay, here we are. Ooh, little bounce. Let's fix the... No, not that. Let's fix the camera. Still won't remember my previous settings. And let's get going. Let's make sure our parking brake is set. It is. We'll go ahead and do our left and right battery start. Get rid of this for a second. Left and right battery.
TAWS system test. Okay.
Then left and right generator. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get our recognition lights on. Let's turn on our APU. I'm starting to learn this a little bit better now. Gone through it several times. Go ahead and calibrate our altimeter. 3016. Weather's nice this morning in Tokyo. Partly cloudy. At least in the sim. Always worth checking in real life. If for no other reason than just to kind of see if the sim's got it right. I show 46 degrees and mostly cloudy. So, close. 10 degrees Celsius. Temperature's looking pretty good in terms of accuracy. Go ahead and deactivate our parking brake so we can get our pushback, although I don't really think we need pushback on this. Okay. We'll make sure that our APU is at 100%, and we'll go ahead and start our engines. Starting with the left, keep an eye on N2% going up there, looking nice. While we're doing all that, our cruising altitude for our hour-long flight up to Sapporo is 37,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and enter that onto our altitude selector as our left engine spools up. There we go, 370. You see right here? 37,000 feet. Okay. Now, we'll go ahead and set our VS, vertical speed. We'll arm it, and we'll set it at 3,500 feet. And we'll make sure that our left engine is almost to 60%. Here it's spooling up nicely. Set our speed not to FMS mode, but to manual, and we'll set it at 200 for our climb out speed. Go ahead and set our nav source to FMS. Bearing 1 GPS. Very good. Setup is going smoothly here. Set of PFD settings. Wind option 2. Looking good. Go ahead and activate our pitot heat. So we don't have any problems. We may encounter some icing conditions on our climb out here. Set flaps at 1. 1. And let's go ahead and start engine 2 now. We'll spool up engine 2. You see that number coming up now? Okay. Ooh, there goes somebody. Beautiful. Nice takeoff, pal. All right, let's go ahead and get our floodlights on inside the cockpit just so we can see a little bit better. We'll turn on our taxi lights, also our anti-collision lights. Let's see where we are on N2 percentage on the right engine's coming up nicely. Things look good. Seems like a stable startup. Go ahead and ready our timer. Always a weak spot of mine, forgetting to start it as we begin our takeoff roll. Let's check here, make sure everything else looks good. It does. All right. Let's go outside for a second while we wait for that engine to finish spooling up. All right, so we're going to taxi over this way. Actually, not far from the runway threshold, only 1 kilometer, so that's nice. We'll zoom in here. Oops, this goddamn thing. Zoom in here on our MFD. Lots of planes. Oh boy. I mean, it's a Sunday morning in Japan, so the people in Japan who are flight sim enthusiasts are no doubt having fun on a Sunday morning. Nice lazy morning. Anyway, we're going to take off, go from here over to here, runway 16 right, take off to the south, just to give you an idea. Oh boy, let's reset that. I don't know why that's all goofy looking. Yeah, that's better. Take a look real quick here at our flight path. Basically take off to the south, then a big left U-turn, and up we go along Honshu, right along the spine of Honshu, and then cross the water briefly there while we set up, and this will be part 2 of our video, God willing, to land at runway 01 left at New Chitose, C-H-I-T-O-S-E, New Chitose Airport, on the ILS frequency of 110.9 for runway 01 left. So that's the plan, and I think we're good to go begin our taxi. So let's do that. We'll make sure we do have our taxi lights on. Let's look outside one last time, make sure we look good. Looks beautiful. You see anybody sexy in that plane? Have to zoom in better. They need to fix it. I love the Doppler radar station right there. That's sweet. Oh, God, I love these handcrafted airplanes. I mean, handcrafted airports. All right, let's see if we lost our... No, good, that stayed. Okay, let's go. Let's head off to Sapporo, which is a great beer, by the way. Deactivate our parking brake. Whoops. That was my mistake. I forgot that I had already deactivated our parking brake when I had arranged for pushback. Okay, no problem. Let's go ahead and trundle on over to 16 right. Do part 1 of this video for our takeoff roll. We'll see if this NVIDIA software's any good. I was not happy with the video quality of the NVIDIA software. The audio quality was better. Even before the latest static problem that I've been encountering with the Xbox video recording. But I thought it was blurry. Or at least the resolution just wasn't good enough. Looks like we're having to be routed this way to turn around, so that's why this distance right here is actually growing. But we're still close. At an airport this big, if you're this close to the runway threshold, you can't complain. Make our left turn here. Don't want to turn too tight. Okay. I am using live traffic, so in addition to my fellow simmers, sorry, I'm steering with my feet here. In addition to my fellow simmers being on scene, also have real traffic. So Haneda International, obviously, very big airport. Make sure nobody's coming. Looks good. I'm not taking off on runway 04 though, Betty. I've heard that on other sources that the woman's voice who speaks to you on the 4Flight app is named Betty. Whether that's actually her name or not apparently is not material. It is by that name by which she's known. Doing a very conservative but respectable and legal 20 knots here as we taxi. Seeing some other planes here getting ready for their, there's a nice big boy, for their Sunday morning flight to wherever they may be headed. But for us, it's just an hour flight up to Hokkaido, the city of Sapporo, and I'm guessing vestigial home of the excellent Japanese beer, Sapporo. I've always been more of an Asahi guy, but Sapporo's good. Might go to a ramen or a good sushi place. If I don't get sake, I'll order Sapporo without thinking twice. I don't even think it's made in Japan anymore, but still suits me. Boy, it's a busy morning. I'll tell you that much. Look at this. Plane, 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 plane. Plane, plane. See if we can get to the runway before anybody else. Little stuttering, not surprising, quite frankly, with all the... We're going to cross the runway here. Hold on. With all,
runway 16 right.
Let's make sure nobody's inbound. Nope.
Entered runway 16 right. 8,500.
So we're going to have to turn around here because 16 right is our takeoff runway, but I'm not going to take off from
runway 04.
from the midway.
Runway 04. 22.
Okay. Let's just flip a little U-ey here. I don't know what... There we go. Okay, good. All right, so we're just turning around. Okay. All lined up on runway 16 right. Got some other big boys coming at us, but just taxiing. There goes somebody right there. Beautiful takeoff. See that guy? That's beautiful. Okay, let's line up. And let's get this done. What do you say? Let's go ahead and activate our landing lights, deactivate our taxi lights, make sure our pulse light is now on, and our tail flood. And Let's just check our final checklist. Landing lights on, taxi lights off, pulse lights on, tail light on, timer. Timer! Aha! Start our timer. Alright, we've initiated our timer. And let's start our takeoff roll. Winds are not cooperative. 8 knots coming out of the east-northeast. I don't like that. Alright, cross your fingers. Zoom out on the MFD. We don't quite need that anymore. Activate arm nav. Sync heading bug. I'm actually going to stick with heading for this takeoff. Here we go. Whoa! There's a van crossing the runway. We're clear for takeoff, though. Get the hell out of the way, dumbass. Okay, you ready? Let's go. Airspeed's alive. Just don't like this wind. 80 knots. $130. Rolling a little bit. 150 and rotate. Alright, that actually went okay. Gear up. Autopilot's activated. Beautiful climb out. Yeah, I'm not surprised by the stuttering given the complexity of the airport. A lot of scenery for it to handle there. Go ahead and activate nav now. Stable takeoff. Begin a left turn. There goes somebody else. Dude, you could be a little bit higher. You're awfully close to that water, buddy boy. Nice, stable climb out. Let's go ahead and set up our wing cam. Apologize in advance. This is never pretty. Ugh. All right. That'll work. Okay, close enough. Activate the auto throttle now. Nice. All right, that was a pretty good takeoff. We're going to start our left turn. Climbing up through these clouds on just a stunning late fall morning in Tokyo. Really pretty. Let's get our speed increased. I'll actually try to use the FLC. I know how to use the FLC and the TBM, but I've found it to be a little... Well, I haven't really explored it yet in the Longitude. FLC basically maintaining the airspeed and letting you climb at whatever rate that airspeed will permit, if that makes sense. So in other words, we're climbing through 10,000 now. I'll set our FLC at 250 knots. Meaning it will climb at whatever rate allows it to maintain 250 knots. It focuses on the air speed rather than the climb rate, if that makes sense. Okay, well, listen, we're climbing out of Haneda. Had a wonderful stay in Tokyo, 4 seasons, and I'll have to find myself a hotel. A lot of planes down there. 1, 2, 3, 4, Nice. Anyway, we'll have to find ourselves a nice hotel in Sapporo. And then the question is, once we leave Sapporo for Alaska, I'm just looking at the math, and there's a part of me that thinks maybe I ought to land at Cold Bay. I've landed at Cold Bay in the TBM. It's considerably closer than Anchorage, and it's a giant airport. I mean, it's not a giant airport, but it's a long, long, long runway. So, anyway. Okay, that's it for part 1. Climbout complete. And let me see if I can figure out how to stop this recording with the NVIDIA software. Alt Windows Z. Let's see if this works.
Climbing through transition altitude.
All right, stop.